Good day from WA. Hi, this is Julie. Welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be making the mini accordion ephemera folder. I actually saw the making of the tri-fold accordion ephemera folder on Carol Law's channel first, and then I went to watch Rachel create them as well. They did it with book pages, and Rachel, I know, did it with her printed papers for the cover. But I had these in my stash. I've had them for about 12 months. Had no idea what they were for. This was the one that I used for the giveaway, and I made it into an accordion folder, and I put lots of goodies in it. I got a whole bundle of them. They come with a ribbon and a hole and a gap. And then when I bought them, I thought, oh, I'm sure I can do something with them. I never did quite know what to do, but then when I saw the tri-folder, I thought I could use that. So anyway, I have a bundle of those that I can make them with. However, people may not have that. So I made these out of cardstock, which is why there's all this cardstock here. I'm also going to try one with matte page. The thicker card is going to be great, you know, for a happy mail or to keep it as a folder. I use this Matchbox style closure. I just find that quick and easy. So I guess I'll just show you what I've made so far. So it opens up fully, and then I've put little pockets at the front, and then I've used glassine bags. So what I've done is I make sure that they're the right length for you to be able to get things in and out. I just decorated the front of the glassine bag, put some decoration here at the back, added not very bulky bow, which is just because I've got tons. Use up the stuff you've got a lot of. I have got tons of embroidery thread from when I used to do embroidery years ago. I tried this thread, but I don't. It's very annoying. This metallic twine. It doesn't make bows very easily. You know, theoretically you could put them inside a journal. They start off quite thin, but once they get full of goodies, they get quite thick. The pack that I made with all the goodies in it was quite thick in the end. So depending on how many items you put in it, you could attach it with a journal and put goodies in, and put the extra goodies in there for decorative elements that they can use on their journal. There's lots of options, but you could, if you do use the thinner paper, it is possible that you could probably get it into a journal, like put it on a page. The other idea I had with it was that to use up scrapbook paper we don't like, or we're not going to use in our journals, and then decorate them to sort of try to hide the colour scheme. But of course I didn't really hide the colour scheme that much, so not a fan of the paper I chose on that one. So I thought, well, I'd get out pretty papers. The other thing is to look for, or to think about, is do you want to have white paper inside? So this one I covered it, but I don't think I did that on all of them. Oh, I did it on that one. Yeah, so I've basically covered most of it, but there is a lot of white. But I think, you know, the white looks fine at the background here because you've got the white glassine bags, and I'm not going to go coffee dye everything. You could, but I'm not going to. So think about that, because you could use double-sided paper and then it wouldn't be white on the inside, or double-sided scrapbook paper. So there's a few options of what you might like to use for your base. I thought maybe you could also use matte pages, because the paper's often a little bit thicker than normal book pages. This one's not super thick, but if you want to have a lighter version to go in a journal, matte pages might be quite good, because often, you know, the atlases, and they're so cheap to buy. Every op shop here has an atlas or two or three, and so when you pull them out, you know, the papers are pretty coloured, and if you get the right ones, they're double-sided. So you pretty much need 12 inches, but I did cut some off, so I think this will be big enough. The other thing is you can use up your scraps, as in your bigger scraps. So these are all cardstock pages that I've cut off pieces. In this one, a couple of pieces, I cut a corner out. I wanted a piece of floral paper and I cut the corner out. So these pieces were just, you know, I've cut pieces off and they're just in a kind of a basket. So, you know, maybe this can be collaged. You fold it over and you collage on it, and then it's, you know, all you end up seeing is kind of a grey background. And then the same with this one and this one. I've had these hanging around for ages. So your options are: use your beautiful pretty papers and it'll just look gorgeous. Use your ugly papers and try to make them look gorgeous. Use your thinner paper if you want to use it in a journal. Use your slightly thicker paper, which will be a little bit more sturdy. I thought I had a piece of the double-sided one already cut. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So what I wanted to do was to make a double-sided one, just to see if I like that better. I don't have a lot of double-sided paper. Really what you need to do is use your glassine bag as your template, as your width, because depending on how wide your bags are, but look for them in your op shops, because all these came from op shops, and you know you'll pay 50 cents for these. So I've got quite a few. Oh yeah, another yeah, so these are the 3 packs that I've got. So I think they're all the same. So that one's a bit wider. Let's just have 4 of these out for the moment. So we know that we need it to this to fit, and we want it to be inside. So you want it to be in, because they come a bit wider, you don't want it to stick out. So you want to have a good, what's that, centimetre? Just less than a centimetre. So just leave a little gap around the edge. I'm not very good with specifics, am I? You will need the full length pretty much, so don't make it shorter. So we just need to make sure we want to have enough to cut off there. Could use my big trimmer, but I'm just going to use my knife so I don't have to keep getting it in and out. I've got the biggest knife on the planet. It's not the one I thought it was the same as the one I had, but apparently not. It's huge. Okay, something happened to the video, so I'm not too sure where we're up to. Anyway, I've cut the little piece to a size that I think suits the glassine bags that I'm using. So you want to just have a little gap to each side, and the easiest way is to start with folding it in half. So the outside comes to the inside and you fold it up. All right, so you've got that first, so it's inside out now. Now you're going to fold it down the other way, about a centimetre. Try to make sure that it's straight, and then the other side you want to fold it the same. Just want to make sure your piece lines up. So now you've got your a little folder. What that does, it gives you a little bit more expansion room when you're putting your goodies in. That's what mine had. At this stage, it might be best to ink it, if you want to ink it. Because it is this colour, I am going to ink this one. Where's my ink? Oh, here it is. But some of the prettier papers I may not ink. So there's the basics. Now you want to think about your height. You don't want to keep it the same height as the bag. They're too high. I think I started to talk about that before. That's the size that you need. You want to be able to get your fingers into the bottom, but because the cards, it depends on what you're going to put in it. If you're putting cards in it, you're going to need slightly higher. If you're not putting cards in it, then have a look at what ephemera you are putting in it as to how high you want to make this. But I'm going to actually just cut this one off just above the heart, just so that you probably won't see them, but if you do, then it doesn't look chopped off. I like to use the crimping scissors. Now, I don't worry about putting a thumb hole in, because if you're going to put tabs, but even if you don't put tabs, it doesn't need a thumb hole. Let's look at this one, because you just pull it out. Now we're going to put them in. I'm going to glue them straight in. So I find art glitter glue really good for this, because they've got a coating, and art glitter glue is really strong, so they're not going to come apart. So all I do is put a line across the bottom. So this is like a T, and then just doesn't matter where, just pretty much in the center. And that's going to, and then just centralize it to the bottom just by eye. Doesn't really matter. It's almost right. Not quite. And the reason why I only put a T in is because I want it to be able to open up. And then the second one, you're going to glue it to that one. So again, you're going to go down the center, thin line, and down the bottom. Now, on Rachel, she doesn't have this concertina in the middle, so therefore she doesn't have to worry about this. But what I've done is I've decided I'm going to put 2 on one side and 2 on the other. So just line those up and stick them to each other. Now sometimes the glue sticks out, but you can just cut it apart if you find out you've accidentally glued them together like I did. Okay, and the next one you're going to put it on the other side. So the same thing, just some glue down the bottom and a T-junction. Need to go to the bottom of the fold. Yep. So it should line up with the top of that, and make sure you've got folding room. Okay. And then the last one. Let's just take this out for now. So what's good about the glassine bags is then the art glitter glue is it doesn't, you know, kind of seep through and go messy. So you've got 2 on the front and 2 on the back. So now they're all lined up like they're one bag. All right, so now you've got your concertina done. Ta-da. Now what you might want to do next is decide if you're having tabs. I don't think I'll put tabs on this one actually, because it covers up the heart. So I'm not going to put tabs on that. So now we just want to fold this down, and we don't want to cover up the glassine bags. I want it to be straight, that edge. That's it. Now because it's quite a small flap, this one, some are bigger than others. I was thinking the other way to do it is just to glue a bead of glue. Now the easiest way will be to glue a bead of glue just down from the top. And you're going to want strong glue, because you don't want it to pop up. So don't glue it down to the bottom, obviously, because you need that part as the flapping part. Okay, we're going to just clip that closed for a minute. Oh, look, I can use my new butterfly clip. Just clip that closed, hold it in place. So this part is easy because we just need to have it so it pops under here. Okay. So we just need it to go halfway up there. So we're now going to just mark it with a pencil where we're going to cut it. So it's about halfway, we're going to cut it there. Okay. Ink that up. Okay, and see if that goes in better. All right, so now we've got that. Now it says for the bride and groom, obviously we don't want to, I don't mind the love hearts, but I don't really want to see the bride and groom part. So we will now find a label or something we can put here. Okay, matches okay. So, you know, it's great to just use up stuff that's lying around instead of going to your main stash and get them, you know, out of your baskets. My baskets are so full of bits and pieces. Every now and then I try and put them back in their original places, but oh, it's yeah, never-ending job, isn't it? Okay, so now you've got that. So I bought these new pens which I really like. I love Pitt pens anyway, but these are calligraphy Pitt pens. So where's the other one? I've got those choices of colours. And so you can write things like treasures. Let's just see what the colour is like. Yeah, I quite like the brownie one. I can't write treasures because it's not enough room. What should we put? Okay, so we're going to imagine that this is a gift. So we're just going to put, yeah, it's better to write them out first. For you. I could have written enjoy perhaps. Alright, pocket here. So I want to brighten it up a little bit so we can look through the scraps. That tones in with that pink quite nice. So you can do a double pocket like this one. I think 2 pockets works quite well because you can put different sized items in instead of trying to fit them both in the one. So we're going to have a wide one and a skinny one. So the first one, that one went up about halfway. So we're just going to mark with the pencil that we're going to cut one there. And I'm going to have to cut it. Well, I stick it down and I trim it off because I'll never get the right size otherwise. You could do it just inside and leave a border, but I don't like that, so we're going to do it this way. Cut the bottom off. Let's try and do it straight. Okay, and now we do want a thumb hole. Okay. Okay, so that's going to go on here. Oh, I've got to cut it off, and it's got to be in the centre. So now I have to cut it off both sides. That's all right, we can do that. I've got to have it made at the right width. I will put the glue on this so that we know that we're getting it in the right place. I'm not a card maker, so as you can tell, I just kind of like muck around and do it. I haven't got 10 years history of making cards or 5 years history of making journals. Just 1 year of mucking around. So now I want it in the centre because I've already done my little thumb hole. So just put that there. Got to go up a bit. Okay, obviously there's might be easier ways of doing this. This is just the way I'm doing it. And I like to cut it off after because that way then it matches the edge of the cardstock. Okay. Okay. We can do a second pocket, the same. We can do a different one. Should we do something a bit pretty? I think so. So just cut the bottom off. Alright, we've got pink happening to brighten up the brown. So then you can put things in like this one and these ones. Okay, so that's how that would look. So now we decide what we want to decorate the front with. It's got purplish, brownish tones. Okay, so I just had a search through my little drawer to the side here. I have all the leftover bits from, you know, digitals and things that I printed out, and I've used some of them. I just put them all in the one drawer, the bits that are left over. So I think one of these might be nice, but that's going sideways. It's got a giant bee. So maybe not. I did quite like this one. Oh, what about that one? Let's cut that out and see how that's looking. I can't tell you which digitals they're all from because they're just bits and pieces. I think this style one goes better for this particular one. Now you could put a pocket on the front. Some other pockets. It's kind of grey, but look at that one. I'm going to use the foldy thing because I need to get it right on that line. Not that one, this one. A little pocket there, just to skip. No, you can still fit cards in, so you can still add a card at the front if you want to. Instead of that then, in that case, let's find a card. That's cute. Alright, let's do that. So we just need to centralise this. Okay, going there, wherever that is. Okay. And then all you need to do is something decorative on the top. Oh, how about a nice bit of lace? 1 second. Let's trim this up first. Now, this is looking a bit white. Although that's quite nice. So I just need to cut some of it off. Okay, all right, quite like that. Yeah, we could have something here. I've got the For You there. Let's just put something here. I'll use that label up there. Little stamps. Okay, I'll do. I went and had dinner. So this is how we are so far. However, when I come back from dinner, I kind of thought, I just need, I know it's pretty, but I just feel like now, because all my others have bows, I know they're only little bows, but a bow at the top. And this is just such a gorgeous piece of ribbon bow that I made. I think that just, that just finishes it off. You know, it's just so cute, so it's going on there. Keep coming back to this one. It's like Fabri-Tac but cheaper. Try that. All right, so if you leave it like that, it should stay like that. Now I just need to cut this one off the same as that one. Okay. All right, what do we think now? It's pretty sweet, I have to say. So, yeah, if I had to vote between using pretty papers and pretty things and using ugly papers, I think I prefer the pretty papers. You know what I'm like for pretty. This one's not too bad. It's got some pretty things on it. It says happiness. I don't mind that one too much. I just don't like that background paper. So you get the idea. We don't need to do another cardstock one now. You can use ugly and make it pretty. You can use pretty and keep it pretty. And it's quite solid. By the time you fill things up, it will get thicker. All right, so the next option is printed papers. Let's do the map. Rachel did printed papers, this part here and this part here, because it's all like the same colour. Oh, I'm not using the bride and groom ones again this time. I'm going to use the plain ones because it's just easier for decoration. And right, so we need a width. We need the width. So we just want to choose our favourite bit of the map. And it's probably more this side we want to choose. So we can choose this side of the map, and then it'll be okay on the other side. All right, so we need, somehow I wasn't trying to get the watery section. I want that to be the front. Actually, I wonder whether we should just do it folded the way Rachel does it. And put 3 in. She did 3. Oh, I know why the height was a little bit wrong. Last time I cut some, nibbled off the bottom, which really helped because see how it's glued. Cut some of the bottom off, and that allows it to sit a little bit deeper into the pocket. But you've got to keep some of the glue, although theoretically you don't actually have to, but keep half the glue, and that will just give you a little bit extra room at the top, because all this was wasted space. I knew there was something wrong. I thought, why is it too high? No, but it's, if we have 3, you see, because even though they're thin, the edges are thick. Yeah, I think if you're putting it in a journal, you probably want to do the thin fold. So let's do that. It's best to put it in because then you know where the join is. Yep, there. So we changed our mind. We're not having 2 folds. We're just going to have 1 fold. All right. And then that comes down. All right, so now we can cut that off because I don't really want the writing and the white pack. See, Rachel had hers come a lot further down, and that's why it's a tri-fold. Well, mine's more of a matchbox, but that's okay. We're going to make our little bundle, and we're going to have the good side to the front. Okay, a little group, and then they can go in here. So let's ink this. I want a different colour. I bought all those new colours. I haven't really used them. I've used the copper one a little bit. Cinnamon. Oh, I think cinnamon might be nice. Try this. I haven't used this one yet because sometimes I don't look like that colour. Looks like it matches perfectly. It does. Beautiful. Just, you know, just something a bit soft and not grungy. Nice. Next we're going to glue those in. Good sides on both. It doesn't matter which side. And just slightly above the crease to give it some, and in the center, and give it some folding room. So what I did on all the previous ones, I happen to have one of these. If you haven't got a little hole maker, you could use your awl. The normal size one's just too big. It's just not going to look good. The original one looks like this. So they punched a big fat hole in it, which I don't really like. And they tied it, and they had holes in all of these. So I had to deal with all of this when I made the one for the giveaway, and I had to deal with this and put something in behind and all that sort of stuff. But so really using cardstock's a lot easier because I don't want all these holes. So I decided that I would just, you know, if you make this a bit smaller and you can just fold it under, and it just, you know, matchbox style. So what I decided was I want a smaller hole and thinner string, so I can't really use ribbon because the hole's too small. Could try making it bigger, but especially on this journal one, you don't want it too big. So you want to make your hole, you want to make sure it's in the region, so the holes there, kind of like halfway down. So it keeps it closed, but still allows you to tuck things under. And above this, of course, I might like to have it in a straight line. And maybe I'd like to have them sent in the right place. So let's say it's 9 centimeters. So let's say we have the hole at 3 in and 3 in. 1, 2, 3. That's 6 and 3. Okay. Do it properly. Line that up with my mark, which is not easy. Oh, not too bad. I mean, it doesn't actually have to be there, but as long as it's thereabouts. So we have 2 small holes, so you know, obviously you can't fit thick ribbon in. So we're going to use our embroidery threads. I think this dusky one, or either that one. Let's pull some out because it might be too pale. Quite like the dark one because I think it matches all those lines. We can always change it. I mean, you know, I don't like it. We've got mountains of this stuff. Tie it in, but I stuck it down. Makes it a lot easier because before I was trying to hold it down and tie it. Now I only have to tie it, which is helpful. Okay. I suggest tying it in 2 knots. I wonder if I can get my little clip to help me. Hey, that's handy. Wow. Oh, it's like having a person's finger there for you. Perfect. All right, I suggest tying it in a knot, and then it's easier to get the bow. Now I found, for some reason, I don't know why, don't understand bows, if you do it upside down, it seems to come up the right way around. Whenever I do it the other way around, the strings hang the wrong way. So why is that? Okay, that was the longest time to tie the simplest bow. Okay, so now we just need to cut it down a little bit. Just going to add a bit of washi tape to this. Okay, so because it's paper, it will just give it a little bit of extra strength. And we're just going to tuck it underneath, but not round, because it won't be able to flip open otherwise. So we're just going to stick that on the edge there. Flip it underneath. And I'm going to put a different one on this one. Okay, that just strengthens it a little bit. So we're just going to put something, a bit of stability. Maybe a little pocket. No, not a pocket, because it's going to be too weak. Any of those maybe. Okay. Don't know where I got all these from. They'll need a bit more fussy cutting, I think. That one certainly blends in. Which way does it go? That one's a misprint. I don't like any of those. Okay, I went through my, oh, it's almost my Margaret Miller basket now, all the things I haven't used from my Margaret Miller, and just picked out anything that was a possibility. Let's get rid of this green thing. So I like to look in the camera. It looks quite nice when I look up there and I can see. maybe. Just fits. I'll just snip the edges off. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks nice in the camera. You've got like one small move you can do with that Gorilla Glue, and then that's it. It's very, you know, hugely less bulky than this one. Quite a lot different, and that without things in it anyway. So, but I would like a little pocket because I don't really like this. Is there anything in this pile that we could have used? Because I kind of would have liked to have used that. So we can put that onto some card and put it and cover up the washi and the map, and then that would be a pocket to sort of match in. So then I'll just glue that on there. There we go. Seems to work. Cut that off. So there you go, you could fit quite a lot of goodies in here, and it would still be, you know, you could put things in that match the colour scheme of your journal, things that you've cut out and you haven't used. I wanted to use those in here, in this journal, put them all in there. Oh, we need something for the front. So we just need something pinkish, reddish, like that. Perfect. Sometimes I can find something straight away. Sometimes I can't. Those stickers have been good. I should try and get some more of those. I'm not sure. I might have some coming. I did do an AliExpress order. It's on its way. I don't know if I found these stickers again. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Yeah, that's just so easy. Those stickers are just great because they just, you know, you don't have to cut them out. I love the vellum type stickers. Beautiful. Perfect. Oh, I like it now. We can have a look at them in case you've just flipped to the end. So you can put, you know, you can put your cards and bits and pieces of ephemera in here. Put all your bits and pieces in here in the in there. This one's got the only one that's got tabs, but you can put all your things in there. Your tuck spots. Okay, the second one I made, it's a bit bigger, but same with the same paper. You get 3 out of a 12 by 12, and this one has just a card in there, and then stickers and the ephemera folder. You can put extra ones in there. Okay, and then the third one I made has some ephemera in here, but you might want to put something more closely related or a bit smaller, maybe. Little cigarette cards maybe in there, and then whatever you want in the folders. And this one has, these ones have the white background, and I just hand wrote on them because we're trying not to ephemera here and treasures on the inside. This one was the next one we made, which of course is my favorite. So it has the gorgeous cat sitting in what looks like a basket. I almost could have put a basket on there. We added the lace and the bow. They're all Matchbox style. This one's a not tied like these ones are actually tied, holding it closed. This one's actually glued underneath, and so the bows are fake. Faux bow. Has these, well, all these ones have 4 folders and 2 pockets, so we can got, I don't know what happened to the blue one of these. Do it that way. It's got the little bird, a little pussy cat, or you can have, we've got the pussy cat on the front of this one. We could have this one and this one, pink, and these can go on the inside. So that's really cute. I like that. Yeah, definitely my favorite. And this one we made as a thinner one, which is now got a little bit of bulk because we've added things to it, but you can put in as much or as little as you want for to go in a journal, but it's much lighter paper. Just decorated it without a pocket. No pocket on the back, no pocket on the front. Just one pocket here, so you can put cards, but you know, if you've got something thinner that might be better in there, that works. I don't mind that. And then you can fill it with bits and pieces that you're working on in the journal already, just ready to decorate. So you can have that in the middle of your journal or on the back page. Just make it a little bit, I kept trimming it, trying to get it straight, and I trimmed it a tiny bit small, tiny bit short. So just make sure this, if you're doing the Matchbox style, that you've got enough to hold it in place, like this one. This one's perfect. So there you go. They are my tri-fold accordion ephemera folders designed by Rachel from Roxy Creations. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'm absolutely blown away the number of subscribers that are coming to my channel now. It's every time I look, there's more. So thank you so much. And the comments, keep them coming, because it really does make you feel like doing more videos when you get comments and subscribers and people saying great things. It's very encouraging to have all those comments coming in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.